Greetings, humans. As you can see, I have transferred my consciousness into a robot. This means I'm now immune to the coronavirus. So I'm going to make a video about room scale VR games. We're going to play some Beat Saber and Space Pirate Trainer, and I'll talk about the user interface design in those games. Alright, this is Beat Saber. This is a very popular VR game, and it has a good interface, so we can learn a lot from examining how this game's interface works. This game is simple enough that people can play it in arcades, so we should really try to copy their style of user interface. So we have the game's logo up here, a nice open space, the floor is marked out, and if I look straight down I have footsteps showing me where the center of the VR play space is. So this is very useful for players so they don't wander out of the safe area. I can see the two lightsabers in my hands, and it's extremely easy to point at the menu. The menu is a nice big screen. Notice they're angled so that they face towards me. The text is nice and big, good contrast. It's easy to press the buttons are big. There's a rumble in the controller when I move the laser pointer over a button. Not only does it highlight the button, but it also rumbles the controller so I can feel it. Setup options are over here. They're very easy to select. There's a very nice ripple effect. When I check or uncheck a box, you see that ripple? That's very clever. If I pick a song, we get a preview of what it's going to sound like. All the options are laid out here, and the leaderboards are over here. Different options for how to play. One saber, standard. No arrows for beginners. Let's try a hard song. Let's go to a famous song you might recognize. Once we're in game, again we have the feet on the ground down here to tell you where to stand. The targets are nice and big. Everything's visually very easy to read. Every time I hit one of the notes correctly, the sabers rumble. So in addition to the audio feedback, there's tactile feedback to let me know that I'm doing the actions right. It's very satisfying. The combination of particles and sound work together very well to make a satisfying experience. It's easy to read. I know which direction I should be facing. It's very clear where the activity is. Very clear big numbers. They're easy to read. It's a very good lesson in user interface design. Alright, let's have a look at another song. So at any time I can also pause, restart, continue, change the difficulty quickly. It's very clever. I think this is an excellent user interface. This is the kind of interface that you can give to somebody who doesn't understand VR, and it will work. And notice that if I'm left-handed and I pull the trigger with the left hand, it switches the laser pointer to this hand. If I pull the trigger on the right side, it switches the laser pointer to the right. So it accommodates anybody. Very good UI. Let's take a look at Space Pirate Trainer next. Okay, we're in Space Pirate Trainer now. So this is another room scale VR game, meaning that you're free to walk around and you have to use motion controllers to play the game. Like Beat Saber, you're presented with a menu that wraps around you, nice big buttons that are easy to see. There's an area on the floor marked out to show you where it's safe to stand. And also notice that there are no obstacles nearby, which is clever because when the player puts their head inside an obstacle, it can be very disorienting for them. You have to determine what they're going to see when they do that. So avoiding having obstacles near the play space is a good solution to that problem. Up here in the sky we can see ads for other VR games. I think that's pretty clever, putting ads up there. And these videos here give you tips on how to play. It says dodge the lasers, grab your shield. So this video is giving you a tutorial to show you how to do a fairly difficult action. One of the actions in this game is that you must put the gun behind your head and bring it back and it turns into a shield. So performing this action transforms the gun into a shield, like this. You can also transform the shield, so I noticed that there's arrows on it. When I flip the joystick, I can change the shield into a magnet. Let's look at the next tip. Smash them against the ground. So in this mode I can use the magnet to slice enemies. It teaches me how to use power-ups. Don't forget the turrets. Now this is something I only recently learned because I've been playing the game for a long time and I never watched these videos, but apparently you can look at these things and charge them up with your electricity, which activates the turrets. Okay, so let's take a look at the game. You can click Ready to Rock and off you go. It's a very simple shoot 'em up, a bit like Space Invaders. And you point at the enemies and shoot them. The shield can be used to block bullets. So I'll let these guys shoot at me a little. Are they going to shoot? Yeah. Here they come, so I can block the bullets with this. They're using tried and tested shoot 'em up techniques, which is when an enemy is about to shoot, it first flashes and it makes a sound to give you a warning, so you're aware of where the bullets are going to come from. I think that's very clever. Notice his lights come on, it makes a sound, and when the bullets come close to me, time slows down a little bit to make it easier. So if I try to dodge the bullets, the game actually slows the speed down a little bit. It's very clever. There's also a sort of a shockwave on the shield that can push the bullets back. Now, using the joystick on this hand, I can change the gun to work in different ways. I can have a grenade or a laser beam, a shotgun. So I think that's a clever interface. Demonstrating that on the back of the gun, showing how that works right there on the gun, is a very good interface. Let's try the alternate shield. If I grab this guy, I can fling him around. I can turn on the turrets and it will shoot at him. So this is quite fun. This lets you grab enemies and pull them and flip them and smash them in the ground. It makes you vulnerable because you don't have the shield, but you can also use it like a kind of a baseball bat and smack the bullets back at the enemies like this. Somebody's behind me shooting at me. This is the accurate gun, like a revolver, and this is the rapid fire gun, which I think is quite nice. Very good game. Easy to learn how to play, very clear text, instant action. You really don't require much instruction, although the game is better if you watch the tutorials and learn how to play. It's suitable for arcades. It's very suitable for players that are new to VR. They also spawn enemies in a way that allows you to learn how to play easily. The first few enemies move nice and slowly and are easy to hit. And then as the game progresses, you get harder enemies. This guy's actually a power-up who's shooting the enemies for me, little drone. And then they gradually introduce harder enemies and teach you more complex elements of the game. So this enemy here can't be shot while it's closed. He's going to shoot at me. Okay, so he cannot be injured while his shields are closed. So right now he's invulnerable. You see my bullets are bouncing off. And then he opens up to do his attack and now he's vulnerable and I can hit him. So I think this is very clever. They train you how to shoot, how to block, and then they introduce the boss and teach you about vulnerabilities and invulnerable weapons. Okay, so that's Space Pirate Trainer. Excellent user interface. I'm going to let myself get killed just to show you. There's a very nice chromatic aberration effect when you get shot. Nice clear text, big buttons, just like Beat Saber. When I hover over the button, it rumbles the controller and it also changes the graphic. Great game, very good example of a good user interface. Perhaps the only gesture in this that's not intuitive is flipping the gun over your head to change it to the shield. Most players either require somebody to show them that or they need to watch that video to learn how to do that action. But other than that, it's a very intuitive, well-designed game. Okay, in the next video I'm going to look at Half-Life Alyx, Valve's new VR game, which is a fantastic example of how to do interactions in room scale VR. Alright, thanks for watching.